you. So this is heaven on earth. I came here to inspire you, and I have been truly inspired by the amazing event, the talent, the enthusiasm, and the fact that you're all still here is wonderful. I want to thank you all very much for inviting me. The team is amazing. Nate, Kareem, Stephen, the Wizard of Oz, my son, Skylar Ritwell. The best investment I ever made. So I'm here today to talk to you about the power of self-care. And I'm really happy that I took this slot because it's so hopeful. It's so hopeful at the end of the day when people spoke about their challenges and their obstacles and their cures. But what I heard was that it came from themselves. Everybody found their own way in the end. I love that. I've taught that my whole life. I've been in practice for 33 years. I'm passionate about inspiring people to a new concept of healthcare. I love to empower people to understand that they can be co-creators of a new paradigm shift to a culture of wellness. So the power of self-care is about you. Do you. That's my favorite saying that all of you say now. I learned it from my children, from which I learned most everything. You are powerful, and your power comes from being whole, from integrating all of your parts so that they work together in harmony, so that you can access the higher purpose of your existence. And that's what we're here for. It's really common sense. It's only common sense. Common sense is your intuition, your inner knowing, your inner wisdom, the unadulterated truth. It's your inner guidance system. I call that your IGS. You're all familiar with the GPS in your car. You put in your destination, takes you on your route. If you go off your route, a voice says, return to your highlighted route. Well, your highlighted route to health is your inner guidance, and the voice is the truth of yourself. What makes you tick? And what makes you sick? In my first year of practice as a chiropractor, I came upon this idea of the truth of yourself when I had a patient who came to me. She was complaining of back pain radiating down both sides of her legs. So I did x-rays and a physical examination, exactly revealing a degenerative disc pressing on the sciatic nerve, exactly the reason for her pain. So, being a first-year practitioner, I did exactly what you're supposed to do, required course of treatment, but she didn't get well very much. She would be sick, a little relief of the pain, but it would come back again. And as I would be working on her, we'd talk about her life, and she was very irritated by her two sons who still lived with her. They weren't carrying their own weight. And she was not happy about that. So one day she got up off the table, and she sighed heavily, and she said, those two pains. That was my aha moment. We're all a unique interplay of body, mind, emotion, and spirit. We're not just a physical symptom. We're not just a diseased condition. The truth of yourself lies therein. It's in the story that you tell. The story that she told me allowed me to understand where her pain was really coming from. As a matter of fact, the Center for Disease Control says that 85% of chronic disease is emotional in origin. Actually, they say upwards of 85%, and I would agree that 100% of disease is emotional in origin. And how do we find that? How do we understand what is our situation? I like to say, inquire within. Go inside and ask yourself what's going on. Sometimes that's hard to do, so as a practitioner, I listen to the story. When a patient comes to me for a consultation, I listen to their story, I receive their story. And in that story, it tells of your values, your goals, what you hold sacred to you, what your failures and your losses are, what your strengths and your accomplishments are, what your assets and liabilities are. And these are the elements that I will use when I'm making an investment portfolio in their wellness for them. It's common sense. We all really know what happened. This is the disruptive innovator in healthcare. We know how we got sick. We know what got us there. But who ever asks you that question? Well, an integrative healthcare practitioner will, a chiropractor, a homeopath, a naturopath. For example, when my daughter calls me and says that she's sick, she doesn't feel well, she's exhausted, run down, scratchy throat, I think I'm coming down with something. I say, how was your weekend? Why? Because I know my daughter's story. She's 23. She works hard all week. She plays hard all weekend. She runs herself down. She withdraws too heavily from her health account. So did she just catch something? No. Does she need an antibiotic? No. Now she needs to invest, make deposits into her own health account. You do that with herbs, vitamins, chicken soup, an adjustment from her mother. The deposits that you make are what make you tick. And that's unique to everybody. But it's only in the realm of simple things, common sense things like rest, relaxation, restorative periods of exercise. The withdrawals make you sick. If you overdraw your health account, you're going to have some manifestation of unwellness, whatever that looks like for you. Now, is my daughter bankrupt? No, she's not bankrupt. But she will be if she continues to keep withdrawing from her health account of youth and vigor and stamina. And I think you've all experienced that probably at some point or another, where you know that you overdo your account, staying up late, studying, partying, whatever, and you know what you're going to have to do to play catch up. You know what that feels like. So where do you go when you're sick, when you're in crisis, when you're helpless, when you're powerless? You go to a doctor. In the United States, our prevailing system of healthcare is called allopathic medicine. And you have a menu, drugs or surgery, or drugs and surgery. But there's nothing on the menu for a la carte services that will increase your wellness, that will address the underlying cause of disease. How did you get there? That will promote wellness or prevention. In fact, your insurance company wouldn't pay for that if it were on the menu. In order to have your doctor visits paid for, you have to be sick. You have to have a diagnosis of a condition. It's a sick care, disease management model, and it's broken. But there is a new emerging healthcare sector called integrative healthcare, and it's something that I want you all to consider investing in. The powers that be agree with me. In fact, I'm going to need my glasses to read this. In 2009, February, the Institute of Medicine convened a summit on integrative healthcare and the health of the public to address this very issue about integrative healthcare, its role and its value. And the chairman, Ralph Snyderman, eloquently summed up our problem. The current U.S. healthcare system is far from integrated in any sense of the word. It is reactive to disease, fragmented, expensive, and ineffective in promoting prevention, continuity of care, and effective management of the patient. With the twin challenges of an economic crisis and healthcare that is increasingly unaffordable and often ineffective, the time for reform is now. This healthcare crisis will require innovative solutions and models of care that depart in fundamental ways from the sick care system we have today. The innovative solution that I propose is common sense self-care. And the model of care is a wellness investment portfolio. Warren Buffett agrees with me. When a journalist asked him, what is the best investment you would make? He said, invest in yourself. So we have long-term and short-term investments. When you're looking at this model, consider yourself a business that you would invest in. You are the CEO of Yourself, Inc., and this is your bottom line. You want to create over time a long-term rewards, return on investment, we call it, in all of these factors. Wellness. What does wellness really mean? It's a state of health, of well-being. It's actually happiness and joy and harmony. What is harmony? everything working together, sounding the same, making a beautiful music like everything that we heard here on the stage tonight. Peace, clarity and focus, so that you can maintain your life's goals, that you can stay on point, and that you have flexibility. Our short-term investments are those that we will use deposit in a daily basis. You're going to make daily, steady deposits in the short term to accomplish your long-term goal. And the first one is so simple, right, doctor? Breathing. You wouldn't think you have to invest in breathing, would you? But breathing is so important. Breathing takes you into the next moment. Breathing gives you power and energy and clarity. Breathing is really important, but relationships are equally important. Healthy relationships that give you support, make you feel good about yourself, because it's love, and love is all there is. Sleep, very important. Sleep, not just sleep, but restorative sleep, rest, lifestyle. Short-term investments in your lifestyle. How are you living your life? You know, at the end of the day, do you say, this was a good day, I'm at peace with myself? Clayton Christensen, right, Stephen read that, wrote the book, How Will You Live Your Life? What will be the meaning? That's important to make an investment every day, thinking about the lifestyle you're living, as well as your diet. And I'm happy to say that this campus has local farm food. We had organic wine last night. It was fabulous. But you want to make good choices about your diet and exercise. Even short, quick periods of exercise are fine. Research shows that you can do 5 minutes as many times a day as you want. You don't have to just do 30 minutes or an hour. So don't think you can't do it, you can. And meditation, finally. A lot of people don't want to meditate. When I'm in practice, I even ask them to close their eyes or do the breathing or the om sound. They don't like to do that. I don't meditate. But in fact, if you're just sitting, looking at the pond or looking at the sky, quiet your mind for 1 second, that is meditation. So sometimes we need help to realize our maximum return on investment. And we can't really facilitate all of those short-term factors or even the long-term ones. We need somebody to help us. It doesn't mean you're sick that you have to go to a doctor. You don't. But you do have to establish, create a team of professionals that will meet your needs, that will help you with to get your goals realized. And you assemble a team of professionals, of integrative healthcare professionals, in the same way that you would create a board of directors for your corporation. You pick the ones who are smarter than you and can help you learn how to care for yourself, be co-creators of your own health with them. And it might be acupuncture, naturopathy, chiropractic, nutrition, yoga, homeopathy, massage, any of the mind-body practitioners. So when we develop an investment portfolio, we work with who's coming to us in that moment, what you're presenting to me, what your assets and liabilities are, what your state of health is at the time that I see you, and then we develop a portfolio. Usually, we're looking at chronic disease. We're still at the stage until you people help me create the new culture of wellness, where people mostly come when they're sick, when they have a chronic condition. And chronic means it's been there a long time. Diabetes is one of the wellness portfolios I want to show you because it's one of the most prevalent and the most costly in our society. It also happens to be one of the conditions that responds most wonderfully to self-care. And so what you would do here, just quickly, is a long-term investment model. You're going to have to, if you have diabetes, you're insulin dependent, you have to invest heavily in allopathic medicine. And because I love integrative healthcare and practice integrative healthcare, I also work with medical doctors and I also use allopathic care. It's not always my first one. So this is a model that shows us how to do that. Short term, you're going to invest in the stress and diet and lifestyle modalities that chronic diseases do really respond very well to. For a young and healthy person, why do you have to invest in anything? You don't have a disease. So what you have to do here is challenge your belief in the sickness model and start to invest in prevention, health promotion, lifestyles that maintain and capitalize on the health that you have. In the short term, I think it's really important to have healthy relations that help you develop character. Creating wellness is about having resiliency, being able to bounce back from life's challenges. And that comes from a good feeling of self-esteem, confidence, courage, compassion. You get that from healthy relationships. So choose wisely. You also get that from meaningful work. So create happiness and a good work ethic every day in your life. So if you get to this stage, gracefully aging person at 50, and you have no particular disease at this point, then what you're going to do is don't make any withdrawals. Stay right where you are. Keep investing in the business of you that has been performing well. And usually at this point, you see a balanced portfolio. Your long term is a little shorter, unfortunately, and then your short term. But you stay the same with your diet, lifestyle modifications. Try to get a little shorter work days in, and your sleep may change significantly. In the short term, your leisure activities, have more fun. You're allowed to have more fun now and start to do a little work-life balance that's a bit different. You can add in, take a look at your healthy relationships. At 50, it's a lot of midlife crisis, a lot of changes happening there. You want to make sure that you've got support. You've got a good supportive relationships. It's very important to weather that storm. Look at your job. What's going on with that? How long you're going to be there? Start to look at your retirement evaluation. Who, how, where do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself as you enter your next chapter? You're going to use your inner inquire within. You're going to use your inner guidance system and then allocate accordingly. Golden agers. Investment yields dividends. It's at this point in time, live your best life with the assets that you have accumulated. You want to get to the end game with all the toys. You want to be well. You want to be healthy. You might have wealth, but health is wealth. And we all know the adage. If you have all the money in the world and you don't have your health, it is not good. So I end with do you. It all comes back to that. In the end, it's all about you. You are the creator of your own destiny. You have to invest in yourself. And how do you do that? Well, two ways. The first way is that you're going to have to get a health insurance policy that's going to cover the expenses that you need. Get a low premium one with a high deductible and a health savings account attached to it. With your pre-tax dollars, you're going to pay for the services that are not on your plan. Acupuncture and chiropractic will be covered in your health savings account. And the second thing you have to do to pay for all of the other integrative health care, gym, massage, conferences, seminars, nutritional work, is going to be, you're going to have to do it yourself. Save for it. Save for it just in the same way that you save for a house, a car, a vacation, college tuition. It's the same principle. You're not going to wake up at 40 in your mother's basement and say, oh, I forgot to buy a car, I forgot to have a house. No, you're not going to do that with your health either and say, oh, all of a sudden I'm so sick, how did I get here? I have no money, I'll be bankrupt. No, conscious aforethought with the end game in mind. And the whole bottom line to that is, do you think, invest in yourself, be a conscious co-creator of your own destiny and of a shift to the paradigm shift, I should say, to the paradigm shift to a new culture of wellness, starting with yourself. So thank you. Welcome to my world, and I hope I meet you there.